Ladies and gentlemen, Six Fig Stock Trader here from YouTube, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about Yokai Swap, Daruma DAO, and CKB. You don't want to miss out on this. So welcome back to the channel, everyone. There has been some demand for TA on Yokai Swap and Daruma DAO in addition to CKB. So I am pleasing the people today by doing all three of them in this one video, so you don't have to go clicking around. As soon as I release this, seems like everybody wants this. So you guys, this is for you. We'll start off with Yokai Swap, and I'm really sad to see Yokai Swap sub 4 penny. This is just one of those things where the markets are very volatile, especially with coins like Yokai Swap and DRM. So we got to imagine that the amount of liquidity flowing in and out of these is not great, and I think that it would be easy to really see some dramatic swings, that sort of thing. So let's go ahead and just break Yokai Swap down. We're going to look at this on a daily chart because I do think that that is important. Right now, Yokai Swap, we can see when it launched, it pumped to 75 cents, and then it had a very sharp retracement, and then we kind of had another pump here, and then the bottom just kind of fell out. But with a lot of this stuff, the reasoning behind these great falls is just people making their money, getting out and moving on. And I think that you'll see more liquidity kind of come back into Yokai Swap, things of that nature, when the markets kind of pick back up, when Bitcoin starts banging again. That is just a guess of mine. So here we have Yokai Swap, and it really is forming quite a nice falling wedge. And I hate to bring up ICP in a video like this, but this reminds me a lot of the ICP, where it's just been in this falling wedge now for a long time, this 6, 7, 8 months. So if it really sticks to this falling wedge, we could in fact see Yokai Swap break out greatly to the upside. Full disclosure, I'm not holding any YOK at the moment because I just haven't really checked up on Yokai Swap. And one of the reasons why I don't is just simply because, it's tough to get to the charts. It's tough to really keep your finger on the pulse of what's going on because we got to go to Avedex, right? But this is a very bullish pattern, folks. And you guys hear me talk about this falling wedge, this squeeze pattern all the time. And I am happy to report, again, folks, this is not financial or trading advice or anything like that. I'm just making some observations. When we're looking at a non-logarithmic chart, we can notice this. And one thing I am noticing right now is that price is squeezing. And it's been squeezing since March. We know this because the candles are nice and small, and they've basically been trading sideways, within a 3-cent range. But we are really edging up near the edge of this upper trend line here. So we're either going to, in my opinion, see YOK break through and break out of this. And on this daily chart, you guys can see how thin this Ichimoku Cloud is. This is wonderful. We are pressing up against this 50 moving average to boot. So this is the kind of break, and I don't know where the 200 moving average is, but this is the type of thing that I like to see. It gives us an opportunity to really break price to the upside here. If it fails here, I wouldn't be surprised to see YOK go down to the lower 3-cent level, somewhere in that neighborhood. Let's throw down some Fibonacci time sequence, and I'm fairly certain that if we draw something up from here down to here, we might in fact see something. So I want to go off this long wick to this this mega wick to the downside here. That's what we're going off of. And you guys can kind of see, you know, we got to look at this in hindsight. Was this an accurate depiction of what happened? Do these time sequence depict accurate reversals? Well, yes and no. So I'm not truly confident in this placement, so we might move this a little bit. And I say that because it didn't really predict a true reversal here. It kind of did here. I guess it did here. Not so much right here. I mean, not really anything to brag about. So I think I'd feel better if maybe I moved this up to here, maybe. I mean, that's pretty accurate. Let's just move the goalpost one more time. Here we go. You know, when I look at this, it's kind of wishy-washy as well. So I'm not sure if there's any super accurate pinpoints for time sequence right now. This kind of looks good, actually. Measuring from this swing high to this swing low, predicted a reversal point here, right here, right here. And once you know it, this is exactly what I was looking for. Something with near 100% confirmation with a time sequence right by the end of this falling wedge. So it could mean that Yokai Swap is due for some sort of reversal. And I do think that it has this chance to possibly break out here simply because of this pattern. Where can this thing break out to? Well, there is an old saying. A lot of traders will go ahead and measure, I don't know, this upper trend line to the lower trend line at the beginning of an identifiable rising wedge. So, you know, I'm not trying to get everybody hyped up here, but this could possibly produce highs as much as 55 cents. Now, I think that you need to take that with a grain of salt because that seems really high for me. I would play this a lot more conservatively, maybe a 3 to 4x, you know, up to this 10 cent, 12 cent range if this falling wedge pays off. That's what we have going for us right now. And if this thing fails and we see the prices of Yokai Swap really kind of drift downwards, well, I have a feeling it's going to be 0.033-ish somewhere in there. So it is what it is. Liquidity is only 8.8 mil. We've got 1.3 million trading volume. So everything is very low when it comes to trading volume, liquidity, stuff like that. So, I mean, it could make for an epic squeeze, but I think that's where Yokai Swap is at. And let's take a look at DRM, and then we'll do CKB right after that. And let's get rid of this. There is one thing I want to just throw up. This is the Stochastic Rsi. Okay, so when I look at this, this is my first time really ever looking at a DRM chart. So this thing, wow. I knew it hit some significant highs when this thing opened up. How much has this thing retraced? Let's just go ahead and see here. If I could get this out of the way, that would be great. Okay, so this thing has retraced roughly 90.66% in, oh man, in about 38 days. Oh man. So yeah, let's just look at what happened here because I really need to understand exactly what happened here. I'm going to pull up the daily. I'm also going to throw on my, okay, I do got them on. So here is the daily chart, and it looked like this thing pumped. You know, people got in 75. This thing pumped up to 100, 120. They took profits. Really, to me, I don't know if DRM is done going down yet. And let's just go into a couple different scenarios why I say that. We've got very shallow liquidity. There's only 800 grand in this. I know people with 800 grand in their crypto portfolios. So this is a very small amount. I mean, the 24-hour volume, $968. So it's interesting. 968 maybe have been traded. I don't know, man. But let's look at this closer. So with that said, one thing I'm looking for is a definitive ABCDE correction at this point. And I'm looking for this because this almost looks like Elliott wave theory to the downside. There could be a possibility that this point here could maybe be a CD down to E, and this could be a reversal point, but we're not really seeing this shelf extend out like it did here. Let's just look at this on a 4-hour chart to just kind of see. When we look at this on a 4-hour chart, we can see how there's definitely the possibility that this has completed some sort of ABCDE corrective wave to the downside. It's not guaranteed. I want you guys to know that. Back to the daily chart on this, though. We can see the Ichimoku Cloud start forming up here. So that is a good thing. The 50 moving average is hovering up here. I just want to try to pull up like maybe 150 moving average if it comes up. It's still too new of a coin. Let's look at 100. Do we get that? Oh, man, nothing. Nothing on the daily. Okay. So we'll just have to kind of use our stochastics, and then we'll also have to use our conversion lines here. So here is the Ichimoku Cloud. You can see price just got too far away from it. It made a little bit of a rebound. The 50 moving average is right here. And we will bring this to the front. And so what I would hope happens here, and this is tricky because we can't see really any Ichimoku Cloud out in front of us. This thing's too new. But what I would hope happens here is that we see some sort of Elliott wave theory move to the upside where this thing can kind of reconnect and test this 50 moving average. We're also going to throw up a little time sequence on this as well. But since we have very limited data here, I just want to look at stochastics and RSI and stuff. So here's the stochastic RSI. And we're seeing stochastic RSI wiggle around way up here. And we see the fast line and the slow line, which the fast line's the blue line, slow line's the orange line. And this really tells us when we start to see this fast line, the blue line, curve into this orange line, that we might be looking at another dump, kind of like what we saw here. Right here is where everything shifted and price started going back down again. So when I'm saying on the daily that, I'm not sure if DRM is done going down because of the fact that, I think that there might be one more hidden correction to the downside. Let's go ahead and throw up some Fibonacci retracements. One thing I'm going to be looking for down here, 127, the 161.8, and I think we'll just go ahead and throw up some time sequence to boot. So let's just measure this swing high to this swing low. Okay. And we can see that looking back in hindsight, it kind of predicted within a few days that there was going to be a drop off here. You can see things squeezed and slowed down here, predicted a drop off here. So now it predicted a little bit of a reversal here. I want you guys to pay attention to DRM on May 4th, 2022. it could be that we see price suffer and pull a reversal and get that ABCDE sequence, something like this happen. And this would make sense to me just based on where the stochastics are. But nothing's bulletproof, and I really want to just check where the retracements land us here. Okay, so maybe what we'll do is measure from this swing high to this swing low. And you can see how this thing blew right through the 127. I'm going to get rid of some of this stuff here because the screen is kind of getting clustered. Man, I would hate to see DRM go down to $5.50, but it is possible. And I say that because, you know, we're seeing price action obey this 141 here. So what might end up happening is DRM might be coming back up to retest this $19.23 level, quite possibly. And this is not financial or trading advice, folks. This is just pure speculation. Like I said before, when you get low liquidity, low volume, crazy squeezes happen, and it's just nuts. So don't be surprised if you see this thing manipulated up to $19.72 and maybe dump. I'm just going to bring this time sequence back up. And I mean, this May 4th date, that's the only date I can really tell you guys to look out for with DRM going forward. This is just such an unpredictable thing at this time. And it's very hard to do TA on stuff like this. So technically, I mean, this could be constituted as some sort of bear flag, something like that, off this bearish shed here. I wish I had more for you guys on DRM. I would feel more comfortable waiting till May 4th, which is just in a couple weeks, to see where this price goes. If it comes up to this $19.40 level, be careful. If DRM starts traveling downwards, look for a possible reversal around that May 4th date. So that's really all I got for you guys on DRM. Let's take a quick look at CKB and see what it is doing. Now, CKB on the daily chart has been battling, trying to get through this Ichimoku Cloud. And, you know, I think the last time I did TA on CKB, I was kind of maybe speculating that we might get some sort of ascending triangle or some sort of squeeze pattern out of this. But that is, in fact, what we are getting right now with CKB, is there is a symmetrical triangle squeeze, kind of like on, let's see, well, I'm not going to mention it, but there is a symmetrical triangle squeeze here, to say the least. So in the next few days, where do I think CKB is going to end up? Well, folks, if you see CKB trading below 0.01-ish, somewhere in there, we might be coming back down to test the sub penny level at 0.009. In my opinion, this is one of the last spots of support, and then we might come down to the 0.0078-ish level. However, I do think that we would be too far away from the Ichimoku Cloud if we came down to these levels right now. The one thing I want to just show you guys is with CKB, you know, these lows are getting higher, but so are the highs getting lower. We have this incredible opportunity right here for price action to sneak right through this Ichimoku Cloud. And folks, this is a great thing. And I like the way CKB is set up. And if we can establish ourselves above the 50 moving average, above the Ichimoku Cloud, I think there's a great shot for CKB to come right up and test this 0.0177-ish area. That's my hopes. And really, when it comes down to it, CKB is still in this wonderful bull flag pattern. So we can see this. We know this exists. We have the flagpole here, and we have the pennant right here. So this is a bull pennant. And if we drop below this, that's going to give me a little bit of anxiety on the price. But there's a lot of great things that Nervos has coming up for us, right? A few bridges, things like that. You know, so that is good to see that stuff in the pipeline. But for now, I think that if you see this thing trading, like I said, anywhere around this penny level up to around 0.0123-ish, somewhere in that neighborhood, that's probably going to be normal for the next few days. I just want to throw up a little time sequence on this as well. And going back in hindsight, predicted a reversal here, here, here. And so for CKB, look at April 30th, folks. That's the time I want you guys to be paying attention to CKB. April 30th, within 4 hours of 11 a.m. Actually, we're going to look at April 28th. Excuse me. April 28th is the date. 4 hours on either side of 11 a.m. I'm thinking what we're going to see is CKB is going to come right down to this penny level, and then we might get some sort of a little bit of a reversal off CKB. So really, folks, that's kind of what we can expect right now for CKB. Yokai Swap DRM is definitely the toughest crypto that I've had to really look at in the last few weeks, simply because it just doesn't have super high data. There's not a whole lot of liquidity involved. There's not a whole lot of trading volume, things like that. I have never bought any. I don't hold any currently, but that might change as more money flows into the Nervos network ecosystem, things like that. So I think, you know what, you know, I think Yokai Swap and CKB are looking good. I'm not saying DRM isn't. We just need to wait for that May 3rd, May 4th date to really kind of see what exactly is going to happen here. Just my 2 cents. But otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed this TA. I do appreciate all the support from all of you guys. You guys are killing it, and I love each and every single one of you. Big shout out to all the Patreons. If you guys are interested in becoming a Patreon, $3 a month, you'll get your name, YouTube channel name, or business name at the end of this banner, or on this banner at the end of the video. In addition to that, maybe I think going forward, we will just be doing some Yokai Swap, DRM, CKB videos all in one swoop like we're doing right now. Let me know in the comments if that's something that you would like to see all three of these kind of packed together, or maybe you just want the Yokai Swap and DRM, CKB separate. Let me know in the comments. I need to hear from you guys. Smash that like button if you like this video. Again, I truly appreciate all of your support more than you know. So we'll see you guys all on the next video.